So we are assuming that you set up the live room with a source of sound. It could be you performing directly, or you have a computer playing some tracks and you place a microphone. We have covered that in the live room part of the course, and for now we're just assuming that you have set it up and it's running. Once your live room is ready, the most important thing is to adjust the input on the console according to the required source. In this case, we are using the sound coming from a microphone signal that is recording a computer playing music from the live room. Looking at the channel strip number 1, a channel strip, it goes from the top there. These are the metering section. These are the buses routing session. This is the gain staging session and input selection. Then there is the cue and compression, the panner, and here you go into the fader. Let's focus on the top part. So as we said, we need to make sure that the input selection is correct, and you will see there are different buttons here. The one that you want to have, because we are dealing with a signal of a microphone, is to flip the source from line. This is supposed to be always on line, to flip it into the microphone area. So we're now expecting a signal from the microphone. The gain for the microphone is the red one. The gain for the line is the gray one. What type of microphone did we use? We know that in the live room we set up a TLM microphone that you will learn how to use it. This is a very beautiful microphone that requires an extra additional power. So before turning on any gain whatsoever, turn on the phantom power voltage. Make sure at this stage to not unplug the microphone at any times in the live room, neither to swap the source and swap it back, because that will damage the microphone and the speakers if you have them still turned on. Once you have that, you see that in the metering we don't have any signal yet, so we need to do the gain stage. So grab the signal, here it comes, and we don't hear a thing at this stage, but we want to pump up the signal to the point that it reach almost the orange bit to have a good hot signal. Don't go too hot, don't make it red, because if you go too way to the top, then you don't have any leeway and it will most likely distort the signal. So try to maintain a good signal level. This is quite hot, as I put it, because the level of my computer is quite low. You wouldn't do that with the performer. With the performer you want the source sound to be very good and test the gain staging on that. But the results for you should be always something borderline the orange color, which is a good signal level. Once you've done this, this is the first metering stage. Now we want to go and proceed to bring the signal to the computer, which is our goal because we want to record the signal. And to do so, you want to tell the strip where to go. And it can only go, for the moment, in two places. It can go into rec bus, which is this red light here, or to a mix bus, which is the green one. What's the difference between these two, and what is a bus? A bus, you have to consider it as an imaginary highway that runs through the console, and all the channel strips are like people that want to jump on this highway. And the two highways are one that is the one that is coming from the live room, the sound that is coming truly from the live room, and the mix one is the one dedicated to the sound coming from the tape, from the DAW, from Pro Tools. Once you press this button, the signal is automatically being assigned to the rec output. So now for going to the second metering stage, we need to leave the channel strip and go to the master part of the console. But one last thing is that we need to move down to the fader. No signal will ever go to the rec bus if you don't raise the fader up to 0. And I can show you here, if I remove the bus, no signal will go. So the fader is actually giving power to the signal to jump on the bus. So first you select which bus and then you power it up with the fader.